Was an Acura master technician.
Yeah.
In fact, I achieved that status about 2 weeks before I was fired.
And
Eric the car guy. That's right. That name sounds familiar. You know why? Because it is a huge name in the YouTube auto repair industry. Podcast. The Jaded Mechanic has a podcast. Y'all check his podcast out. He had one Mr. Eric the car guy on. Okay. Now, y'all notice, if you haven't noticed, I go by the name of JT the car guy. Now, did JT try and snatch that name from Eric the car guy? I wouldn't say that, guys, but was I inspired by Eric the car guy? I would say that. Absolutely. No way in the world would I try and, snatch away the car guy part. Okay. Yes, his name is Eric. My name is JT. I decided to tag the car guy on the end of JT, and hence the name JT the car guy. That is the name I go by. Now, we was on YouTube at a different time slot, different era. When I started, Eric the car guy was booming. Okay. Now I'm going to play some of his story because the story is fascinating. All right. This is an hour, almost 2 hour long podcast. And I watched most of all of it. And some of the things I did not know, for instance, the typical mechanic coming up. Okay. A little bit of background on me. Yes, I came through the trenches. Okay. The Pep Boys, the Firestones, the Good Years. All right. All of those places. In fact, it was so long ago, those places were paying mechanics about an hour at that time. Okay. So yes. And then once I set foot in a dealership, it's been dealership ever since. Mopar, now known as Stellantis. Okay. Eric, from what I'm hearing, started with Acura. Was it Acura or Honda? Either one of them. All right, as a master tech. Okay, from there, you got to understand his story and you got to listen to his story. Like I said, go check out this podcast because I'm only going to play bits and pieces of it. All right, I'll start right here how he got started. All right, yes, one Mr. Eric the car guy got freaking fired from his job. Now, guys, we all know. If you don't know, you should know. Some of your best moves in life are done based off bad news. Let me say it like that. Okay. So you'd be surprised some of the decisions you make once you're in turmoil, once you're in bad situation. All right. Yes, of course, you are forced to make those moves, but sometimes it takes something bad to happen to you for you to make that additional step in life. All right. Would he have quit and jumped on YouTube and became Eric the car guy if he had never gotten fired? That's what I'm saying. So some things, when one door closed, more doors may open. All right, enough. I'm talking too much.
I was an Acura master technician.
Yeah.
In fact, I achieved that status about 2 weeks before I was fired.
and
Well, actually, the reason I was fired was because I aligned myself with the wrong person.
mm-hmm.
And the way it all went down specifically was this person was actually the parts manager.
Right.
And being a technician in a dealership, let's just say side work is frowned upon.
Yes.
However, I was good friends with this parts manager, and say people would come in to buy parts from them and they would say, hey, are there any mechanics out there that do side work that can help me install said parts? And given that he and I were friends, I sort of got preferential treatment in that regard. Plus, I had a shop of my own. My original shop that you saw those videos from was my side work shop.
Right.
That was how I set it up.
Rule number one. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell you something. If there's nothing owners of a dealership or shop hate is when their employees, or there's a conflict of interest with their employers. Okay, just say if I have a shop that do the same thing that I'm working for another guy do, okay, that's a conflict of interest per se. That's why a lot of things, when I work out of 4 shops, guys. I try to keep that discreet from each shop because first of all, it's none of their business. All right. What I do once I punch off your clock is my personal business. But the conflict of interest come in the form of where you getting customers? Are you snagging customers from here? I never interact with customers from, let's say, a dealership or let's say independent shops. Any shop. If I met you here, that's where you stay at. If I met you at a dealership, that's where our relationship stay at. If I met you at Brothers Motors, that's where our relationship stay at. So you got to keep those separate, guys. But I'm going to tell you, owners hate that. Okay, the first sign they get of they may have lost some money because of something you did, they want you out of here. And their reasoning is justified because they think you are stealing customers from them. They don't care how good you is at that point. I mean, you can have comeback after comeback after comeback. That shows you not that good. But if you're good, you're not going to have those comeback. Okay, but you can be late all the time. You can be just messing up all the time and not get fired. But the minute an owner find out you may have stolen money from him, you're out of here. It don't matter. And I get it. I understand. I would be the same way. So, yeah, conflict of interest. Y'all heard his story. We didn't hear it all because I don't have time. So, again, let's talk about how Eric, the car guy, let's use the term got burnt out. All right. Yes, guys, you can get burnt out. What I mean by burnout is pretty self-explanatory, right? Burn the freak out. Okay, you can do this day in and day out, and it could really wear you down. Okay, let's say for me for example, all right, I 3, 4, sometimes 5 videos a day I put out. Do you know how much? I'm not going to call it a lot of work because I'm pretty fluent, or I'm pretty versed at, social media and recording and doing this and doing that and running off the top of my head. In other words, not needing to put together scripts to do a video. I just go off the top of my head, which makes it easier for me. But you can get burnt out doing this. Now, not to mention I have a day job. Okay. I have day's job. All right. So I'm pulled from a lot of different directions. Okay. Yes, you have to be good at multitasking to pull this off, or you will literally fail at everything. If you're trying to do 5 things at one time, if you're not good at it, you're going to fail at all of it. All right. This is a good thing. I'm real good at multitasking. Okay. So Eric going to tell his story on how he almost got burnt out. All right. Now he's not done. Don't get it twisted. It's just that he's not as popular as he used to be. Because, YouTube has grown, man. YouTube spitting out good content or good channels daily. So, the playing field has broadened. All right. Yes. YouTube mechanics cropping up daily. All right. So how do you separate? All right. He's a legend. Okay. So his name is already out there, but I'm gonna let him tell his story on how he almost got totally burnt out. Let's listen to this. This is very interesting.
My goal was just try to hang on by my fingernails, because it got to a point, especially after I started the ETCG1 channel, which was in 2010. So I started Eric the Car Guy in 2009. I started ETCG1 in 2010, mainly because I realized that there was another voice there to Eric the Car Guy besides just the repair stuff, as you mentioned earlier, the connection to technicians and other DIYers and things like that. And I didn't want to muddy the waters of Eric the Car Guy with that. I thought Eric the Car Guy should stay as a repair channel, and then I could talk about stuff on ETCG1. So then I started doing that. And then I came up with the idea, well, if I produce exclusive content for members of my website, I can gain another source of income. So I started that. So here I am on a weekly basis producing videos for Eric the Car Guy, ETCG1, and anything I could to try to make premium content as well. And I was on that hamster wheel for I don't know how many years, but it literally broke me. It literally came to a point to where I was sitting at the keyboard and I just could not edit another frame of video. I just couldn't. I physically could not do it. It was like I quit. I cannot do this. So interestingly enough, it was about that time that I lost my shop.
Okay.
So losing my shop gave me an excuse to sort of step back a little bit, collect myself. I actually spent some time in therapy, about 2 years, to try and get it all sorted out. And this is all on me. It wasn't the situation where, the videos I was making or any of that. It was me working myself to that point, me imposing those deadlines, me doing those things that put me in that position. Mm-hmm. And recognizing that helps me stay away from it now. But I didn't see it at that time. To me, I saw if the harder I work, the more results I'm going to get for it, which was wrong thinking.
Sometimes
on so many levels.
It takes drive, but sometimes the smarter work is what gives the longevity, right? There's hustle, there's muscle, and then there's
Going back to the plan, I didn't have one. You asked me if I had a plan for the videos. At the end of the day, I didn't have a plan. I just started producing content. It happened to take off, and I happened to ride that wave as far as I could because I was like, this keeps me from a real job. I'm going to keep doing this as much as I possibly can. And in addition to all that, you get this fire hose of opportunities that comes your way. And I was one of the first channels to experience that because companies were not used to doing YouTube or any kind of social media. So they would come to me early on, and neither one of us knew what we were doing.
Right.
So we were trying to figure it all out. And in addition to me trying to produce all the content I was trying to produce, here I am trying to make additional income through all these other opportunities that are coming in, trying to conform to what they need. So I pulled myself in 10 different directions.
Yeah.
And if I'm to put any advice out there from my story, I would definitely say have a plan. Have a plan of what you're looking for. And I think you'll have a much better outcome than just trying to keep up with what's there.
There you have it, guys. I'm going to end this video right here because I'm pressed for time. But I'm going to listen to some more. I'm going to listen to the rest of his podcast. Like I say, the Jaded Mechanic, he do podcasts, and he have some good ones out. So y'all go check him out. Eric the Car Guy is still kicking it. Okay, he have ETCC. All right, that's his other channel. And, of course, his website. So please check him out. But this is an interesting story that I need to listen to the rest of it. Okay, so we're going to talk about it here on this channel as well. But his story, I'm not going to say it's similar to mine, but it's sort of similar to mine. Okay, the part about being burnout, I don't think I would ever get there because, like I say, this has become easier as time progressed. If it was getting harder and harder and harder to do what I do, then yeah, I would be totally burnt out. I could easily put out 2, 3, 4, and it make no sense to brag on how much video or how many videos you have out if they not quality videos, guys. So yes, I like to think that I put out nice, good quality videos. And by the way, this video will be on my Redline News Report channel. Okay, my auto repair channel. It's on online mechanic tips. Okay, just what Eric mentioned. Okay, I had to have a separate or a different avenue to speak about the auto repair industry. The mechanic channel, all guys want to do is see assholes and elbows moving, wrenches, dirt, oily. Yes, okay, so they don't really want to hear yappy yappy yap. I can do that over here. All right, so please go check out my other channel and check those videos out. But I got to wrap this video up, and we're going to talk some more with, we're going to listen to some more of Eric the Car Guy on the Jaded Mechanic podcast. All right, for now, I got to go. Thanks for watching.